I think somebody raised that issue earlier in the show.
Yeah. Um, Good morning.
Good morning.
Let's end our show on a good note here. Bring on our buddy Jojo Camacho of Ambros, and we're talking about some of the great things that they've done during the COVID. Good morning, Jojo.
Hi, Jojo.
Hey, good morning, Chris. Good morning, Sabrina.
Good morning.
We're gonna pop up these pictures, but first of all, I know you guys do a ton of charity work. How was the pivot to go from monetary donations, which is what we were doing before the COVID or whatever, and again, you guys have been there for us with Giving Tuesday.
Mm-hmm.
But how do you pivot from the type of donations and assistance and help that you guys normally do to what was needed during the COVID?
Well, it's really a matter of listening to what people need out there, right? The frontliners needed PPE. There was different needs throughout the island. The frontliners were tackling everything on a day-to-day basis, and understanding some of the industries that we're involved with out there, like healthcare. We sell disinfectants, and on this PPE, we took a look internally, tried to see what we had. I mean, as you guys know, the demand was overwhelming island-wide, so we just took a look at what we had and how we could help, and we put a plan together. All the teams got together, the executives gave us direction, said, hey, if we have it, let's see what we can do, and let's get it out there into the community, into the hands of the people who need it. So, it really wasn't much of a difficult task to pivot, only because, being a good neighbor and understanding how things work here on Guam, we felt that we needed to be there and be a part of the drive to make things successful in the end.
Mm-hmm.
And hopefully we're getting there.
Right. I mean, I'm just looking at the numbers, $35,000 in PPE supplies donated to frontliners, hundreds of meals donated to frontline workers. There's even this 3D printer.
Yes.
And raw material. So
Yeah, that was that 3D printer. That was exciting. When I went on Facebook and again, we were looking for ways to help, and I had just recently acquired a 3D printer, and I came across this page that said PPE for Guam,
mm-hmm.
and they were calling out for printers, for filament, the plastic,
mm-hmm.
it's like this roll of plastic line that they use to make these 3D, I guess, print things. So when I saw the need, when I saw the need, I said, hey, we have the raw material, we have a printer. Hopefully it's what they're looking for. So I reached out to Allison over there with PPE for Guam, and when we gave her a call, she's like, man, the biggest thing we're after is filament. So I said, okay, no problem. We've got 20 rolls. We'll bring it right over. So later on, I think it was that day or the day after, I drove right on down to their location in Agana, which they had just moved into, and then we dropped everything off. So that was really exciting, and it goes really far.
Mm-hmm.
So, we're real excited to see people get resourceful like that, and we're glad to be a part of it.
Mm-hmm. You know what also goes far is water. And
Absolutely.
you guys have those really cool looking cans.
I call it the Mullard can.
You're thinking you're getting beer, but you're really getting water.
The Mullard can. I'm gonna make sure I frame that one and put it on the wall in the office. But yeah, that's something that Anheuser-Busch, being such a great partner, they're able to turn around and brew this, not brew, but actually turn the brewing line into just an assembly line for water. So it's water in a can. There's not much changes that need to be made, and I say that not knowing all the work that goes on to clear the assembly line. But yeah, this water is actually canned, and what we do is typically, our GM Tom Shimizu, he's well aware. We've lived in Micronesia for decades now. And, when we need help, everything's at least 2 to 3 weeks away.
Mm-hmm.
Unless you own a plane and you can fly it in yourself, it's quite a bit to get it here. So what Tom did is he gathered some partners, Matson and some other shareholders like the American Red Cross. We made the request, and Anheuser-Busch fulfilled it and gave us all of these pallets of water, which we kept on standby in the event we needed, storm, calamity, natural disaster, whatever it is, so we can assist people in Micronesia. We had it on hand, and as soon as the need arose, we heard that there was a need for water. There were some people that couldn't get their daily basic needs. That's when we saw what happened in the stores. People just went bananas out there.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, we gathered it up, and we provided the water for people to to take care of people on Guam.
Chris is right, though, the Mullard cans, because I know when I first started seeing the pictures coming in with the press releases about what you guys were doing, and I was thinking, whoa, they're giving out beer.
Wow, they donated all this beer to the Roosevelt.
Like, hey, we're first informers.
All right, Bree.
Yeah, you know, it's working with wonderful partners out there in the community. We saw everybody pull together. We definitely wanted to help out because Guam is our home, and we're glad to help out any way we can.
And that's why I wanted to bring you on, because we think you're setting a good example as a responsible and generous corporate citizen over there at Ambros. So, Jojo, again, you guys are our COVID heroes for the day. Thank you so much.
Thank you very much, and hey, you know, we just want to applaud everybody out there who kept Guam going when times got tough. You know, the frontliners, of course, the EMTs, the police, the fire, also the people in the stores, the cashiers, stockers. You know, everybody out there. Thank you so much for doing your part to keep Guam running in these tough times. We appreciate everyone's help.
Thank you, Jojo.
Thanks,
Wash your hands,
Jojo.
buddy.
All right, take it easy.
Okay, be safe.
Well, there you go. Jojo Camacho of Ambros. You know, hey, proud sponsor of Containing COVID. Look at that. It's 10:02. Also proudly brought to you by Cabo Enterprises, Bank of Guam, Coast 360, and IT&E. Good job today, Sabrina.